the expectations of like releasing a product, a montage, is the same thing with like running an organization. Don't give up. It just requires a lot of commitment. And when the community sees a organization that has been standing strongly on its feet for, I don't know, like at least 3 to 5 years, I think you'll see more of a population start to come in more and more. You just keep pumping out that content.
I wish more people would get behind this because it's such a cool thing. And honestly, I don't know anybody else doing it. If there's somebody else doing it, I would love to join their thing, you know?
Hey fellas, engaging with and sharing our work makes the algorithm favor our content. We're asking for your help to reach more folks passionate about this art form. Please share, like, comment, and engage with our content the most you can. We appreciate you. Now here's what you came for.
And it's go time. What's up, Phil?
Hey, Renzo, PTW, what's poppin', my man?
This is Photon, guys. We had a previous podcast before, and there were a bit of audio issues. We got that kind of squared away now, and this is gonna be done the right way. So just to start things off, let's introduce ourselves. You introduce yourself first, Photon.
Okay, sure, not a problem. I am pretty much just a passionate video editor for over 20 years. When I put most of that time into Halo montaging and memes, and I am a graphic designer for the Halo1Guide Discord server. It's a custom map, the modded map, Halo 1 server. That's pretty much it. That's my little bio I put on Discord.
And you've actually you're completely self-taught. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. How do you not like? I'll fucking look up like these YouTube tutorials. I've done Andrew Kramer videos. I was introduced to Andrew Kramer video pilot at school, and that guy is fucking hilarious. Just laughing just thinking about him. It's like just thinking about it makes me want to pull up one of his videos and watch it. So I watched one of his, only really used one of his video tutorials on my personal time when I made and I designed the text for the Power Frag movie. It took me somewhere between 3 and 5 hours to create that text. It's the stereotypical overused glitch effect.
So you use the glitch tutorial from Video Copilot to make that text.
Yeah. Andrew Kramer, if you're a video editor, you're watching or listening to this, I can't recommend enough checking out Video Copilot. And it's like, if you have the capability and interest to do After Effects, go check out Video Copilot and watch the tutorials by Andrew Kramer. It's the most entertaining tutorial I've ever experienced in my life.
He's the godfather of AE tutorials, pretty much, man. Back when,
oh yeah,
yeah, he's the godfather of it. He basically was the first to start making like streamable tutorials for After Effects. Like, that's where I learned too. That's where I learned, and I know a lot of the beginner editors and the old school editors learned from was Video Copilot for our AE stuff, you know.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like you've probably put more patience into that than I have. My After Effects is still kind of humdrum, average. I think you put more. It seems like you put more effort into learning that.
I'm not sure what what softwares are you using for your montages in general. Like,
I use the Adobe Suite for everything.
So you use Premiere Pro, like a mixture of Premiere Pro and After Effects?
Yeah, and Photoshop and Montage.
Okay. Yeah, so like for me, like I do all my editing in After Effects now, and I do the sound work just in in Vegas. So like, yeah, that's how I've been doing things ever since Grip, pretty much.
Yeah, that's your flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just like it like a lot more. And I heard that Zola did all his editing, like he does all his editing in After Effects. So I wanted to give it a shot, and I'm like, dude, no wonder he does it all here. Like it's actually like you get a lot more control in terms of uh like keyframing and stuff like that, and parameters and all these things. Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, I Reflections does it too, and I don't find After Effects very effective for like audio editing though.
Oh,
I find it better in Premiere, and but there's workarounds with that if you're pretty adept with Adobe, because like most of those apps are they're like interlinked to one another. So like you can right click a file within like Premiere, and it'll transfer that clip over to After Effects, for example.
that's what's so cool about like see, I wish I took the time to learn Premiere Pro, because your base eventually like you're saying like I'm more adept at like After Effects, but the base you have where you're using a Premiere Pro to do your body work and your sequencing is gonna eventually trump my After Effects, because you can use the sequencing software and the compositing software, which is After Effects, to really get the flow perfect in your videos. And I have to jump in between Sony Vegas and After Effects, or completely do the flow in After Effects, which is really it's actually like really hard, dude. It's hard to do, and it can be very tedious.
Oh, yeah, well, that's your chosen flow.
Yeah. So tell us about like a project that you're working on. Like, what are you working on now?
I am working on a trailer for a mod map pack that Halo1Guide is releasing. It's honestly pretty freaking badass. We will be the first community ever really in CE to be pretty much integrating the Digsite cut weapons from CE into multiplayer.
And now can you explain what that means to for me, because I didn't really understand it too well.
So when Bungie was developing CE, they made a slew of a very generous armory, and like over 15 weapons got like cut from what we know of ski, and got you know just pushed under a rug. And then this community known as Digsite is kind of what the name implies. They dug up all these old files, not just CE but for Halo 2 as well, and they have done the Lord's work by sort of restoring these deleted files that Bungie cut off from the original Halo 1 and 2. And my community has taken it a step further by not only reviving that armory, the weapons, other little trinkets and bottles, but we are pushing it for the first time in the CE fandom into the multiplayer realm by applying these cut weapons into well, we put them on the modded maps. We don't play vanilla maps. But if you subscribe to this mod pack, which is now available, that I'm making a trailer for, you can experience all the deleted weaponry that Bungie intended to put on CE now for the first time in a multiplayer patch.
Wow, that is so cool.
Very proud to be a part of that movement.
Yeah, that's incredible. So
And it's actually like that mod of ours on Steam Workshop it's not number one, like top 5 looked at, reviewed, or downloaded mod. I might be wrong in a couple of those regards, but it's a hot item now. I'm very proud to be a part of that mod. That is
that's awesome, dude. And who else is working on that with you? Like I know you're making the trailer and you're promoting the product. Were you also responsible for like kind of like doing I don't know what it takes to do something like that. Maybe the programming side or anything like that, or who's leading that charge?
That would be two individuals by the name of Split and the No Name. They kind of shouldn't say kind of, they do the heavy lifting of importing those assets that are already available in a very rudimentary fashion, and they extracted them and then placed them in the multiplayer maps, and that takes a lot of work to fine tune all that. I have no part in that. I am graphic designer, like I said. I made things pretty titty. I don't play with the nuts and the bolts. I just make sure the nuts and bolts have beautiful colors on them.
You're promoting it, which is awesome. You're a part of that team. And for those that don't know, Photon is pretty much like the best Halo CE editor right now. I mean, it's true. It's true. Like, I don't know anybody making like dope videos like that. Like, I love your videos. And let's talk about Kaiser. Let's talk about Kaiser Core.
Oh God, flatter me into a pancake. Yeah, I love Kaiser Core. It's a big hit. At least in my resume and sort of what it's managed to pull off, which is a few things to mention. Um, I I'll just say my favorite thing about Kaiser Core, that it's a montage that I've done a fairly unique spin on how a montage is presented with the clips that I'll get into in a moment. But the clips of Kaiser, this guy named Kaiser Ramirez, he's this young buck from Colombia, and he's quite literally the best player, if not the best, like top 5 best CE player in the world. He streams. He's competed in several tournaments. He beats them. He's gone first place in a I think a 2-week dude tournament recently for CE last year. He's best friends with the Ogre twins, right? So my favorite fact is, because of him being friends with the Ogres, Ogre One retweeted my montage, the Kaiser Core.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that's for me is like one of the wildest developments for me as a Halo montage.
So how many viewers in Ice by Ogre? How many views does it has? Because like Ogre's brothers got like a huge following. How many views did he get?
Tragically, not that much. I got that YouTube video has like nearly 700 views.
Well, you know, like successful videos, like around anything over probably like 500 is like a successful video given the popularity of Halo right now, I think.
So hard to gauge. That's I guess it's decent. It's decent for me. I don't. It's hard for me to even break 1,000 views on all the videos how to make. I pour my entire being for 20 years into these videos, and I can't even break 1,000 views. But I don't let that get me down. Little to none of my family and friends support me. Even the people in my own community, they kind of brush it aside, or they'll actually compliment me. But I don't let any of that get me down. I have this core of love for montage editing that nothing deters it. And I don't want to relate this message as if I'm bitter and resentful and wishing that there was more in my life. I'm just simply saying that in the face of such kind of like moral adversity, I refuse to step down, because I will probably do this for the rest of my life. Like I want to embody this.
Oh, very cool. It's a little.
I want to embody that symbol of remaining excellent to yourself, not just for others, but do something special for yourself, because that's a sort of a terrific way of like sustaining yourself in like a spiritual way. And video editing for me is it feeds pretty much my soul. It makes me feel excellent and I do it, and even more so when I post it. Just a simple comment will make me happy. So Kaiser Core has helped me facilitate that even more, a step further, as an editor, as a person, and as a community member at CE, because besides the fact that these clips are professional player, I think he's professional. I would have to say, yeah, Kaiser's professional, but he's also a professional troll, which is really funny. But I won't get off into that. But to get in the creative side of Kaiser cores that I think I'm really proud of is what I was relating to earlier, is that the way in which I displayed the clips, I think are really unique, that I'm really proud of. If you haven't seen Kaiser core, imagine an armor flying through a multiplayer map very slowly, and then like I used the wall of the multiplayer map to sort of station the clip in which Kaiser gets that kill. So in OS room, there's clips of him getting kills with the OS or OS related stuff. And so, like Reflection said, it's like watching a theater experience, because it's like, this like big screen is suddenly inside of a multiplayer map, and that big screen is showcasing the clips in that same area in which the kills are achieved, which are my favorite things about Kaiser core.
Gotcha. I actually I thought this would make you happy hearing this. I got a DM from Hyena, and he's like, all the stuff you guys are doing, like, you guys deserve more recognition for all the stuff you're doing in the community. And I feel like, the the community is kind of sleeping on you guys, and I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate what you're doing. So,
Likewise.
over here, Hyena said that, and I really appreciated him saying that, because like, I just, like, I released the edit, and I think I got like maybe like 2 comments on it. I'm not frustrated at that, and I think it got like less than 100 views or anything. I worked really hard on that video, and I know we all work really hard on our videos. It is nice to get recognition that you feel.
Yeah.
I don't know if I deserve it, but I feel like I mean, I did work my butt off on that video, so it'd be nice to.
I do totally feel you on that. That is definitely something that I have struggled with for a very long time, and I think the ultimate sort of perspective you want to have about that is you simply you can't rely on the recognition. Don't place expectations in that so much, because then it'll just, like, it's really the bitch thing about it is that us being artists, we're naturally emotional creatures. That's why we do it. It's an emotional expression, and dare say, also mental and kind of spiritual. But ultimately, we're emotional creatures that we invest our love into this project for a very large amount of time, and then once it's produced, we would be nice to see it it receive some feedback for all that effort. But ultimately, we have to be stoic and unemotional about when it's released, because your feelings will, you don't want your feelings to be crushed. So it's very difficult to understand that you should probably embrace a more stoic perspective when you release your hard work, because you don't want that that pressure, that sense of unappreciatedness from the community to seep into your soul, and then ultimately it'll like toxify and just to be cancerous, and you'll like slow down you start questioning yourself, like, why am I doing this? You go down this downward spiral, and you have to knock all that out and remember why you started in the first place. It started from the heart, and you have to just keep doing it for the heart and do it for yourself. And people will resonate with it, people won't resonate with it, but those who do, it makes an impact. And rest assured that all art made, no matter what it is, the world needs it. There are people who actually love what you do, PTW, but they don't even drop comments. People are weird like that. You have to understand that inactivity doesn't mean dissatisfaction or unappreciation, and that's something I've had to come to terms with. That's something that I get irritated with, like with my best friends. I'm like, dude, drop a comment, drop a like. Where you at, dude? I put 80 hours into this. Where you at? And I've done that for years, and I still do it. And I'm slowly trying to catch myself and not do that because I feel like I'm irritating them. But ultimately, everyone's different. Everyone's different. Not everyone is going to communicate how you expect it to. But that doesn't change the fact that it's affecting them in a positive way. So keep making art no matter what it is you do.
That was very, very well said. Thank you. I appreciate the wisdom there, Bill, Photon. Now we're on the discussion about the community and stuff. What did you think about this year's entries, the community's entries to our contest? Did you think we were gonna even hit the number 10 number of entries? I know I spoke to AYS and he was like, I thought we were gonna get like 5 or 6, and we weren't even gonna get the minimum number, and we've got 12.
Yeah, I'm looking. I just look. I'm scrolling through the 2025 entries right now myself. Yeah, a dozen. Yeah. It was definitely a slow trickle. I definitely believe that it was a high potential that we would reach 10, at least 10, and that's because I think your window, your whole the deadline you set, was pretty large. Like what? Like, is it ultimately like a 6-month contest or what?
So I think it ended up, I think the deadline was from October 31st all the way to August 1st. So we're talking, I mean, that's around the 8-9 months, something like that.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's way more than what I was doing with. Well, no.
How did you do yours?
Uh, so I hosted Halo uploads for exactly 1.5 years, and the first year I made 3 contests, so I divided the year into 3, so 4 months each, and then my second year, which was 6-month long, was just that. I believe it was a 6-month period. So you said you did 9 months?
8 or 9. I don't want to do the math on the fly right now.
But over half a year, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It would be nice to do that's not what shit is months.
Yeah. Uh, uh, yeah, I think so. I'll tell you a funny little story involving Hyena and ZRTROOKIO. When I first acquired Halo uploads, I had a 3-way conversation with those individuals, and I pitched them my idea for doing 3 retroactive contests for 2023, which consisted of respecting montages that were submitted in the years 2021, 2022, and 2023. Um, to have these 3 contests in 1 year. They told me I was crazy. They were like, dude, I don't know, man. It's not a good idea. And Hyena was like, oh, mate, that's bloody crazy. I like.
That sounds just like him.
Well, mate, I don't know if that's the way it goes. That's actually sounding kind of strong. People are already burning off the podcast, but that's okay. What I'm trying to say though is they were they were kind of against it, and I did it anyways, and it was a huge success. Honestly, I had it was a slow trickle at first where I had like 8 or so entries for the first contest, and then the second contest it was like a little bit over a dozen, like 14, and then the third one was a little bit more or the same, and then the fourth contest, which was for my second year, was the record of like 16, 17, 18 or something like that. So it's definitely going to be a slow trickle. We could talk about this till the cows come home. That the Halo community is just a little fragmented and at a significant low point. So therefore, the montaging is reflective of that. So it's you can't have too high of expectations. However, I think 10 montage entries for a 6-month period is totally doable.
For sure. I definitely I was very optimistic about that too. But I just had to mention that AYS was like, oh, I'm really like happy that we were able to reach that minimum number, because he was like, I didn't really think that, given the state of Halo, I didn't really think we were gonna reach that number, and also like, we're not that well known, so
It's slowly growing, man. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It like I told you many times before, it like the more commitment you show simply by um keeping the organization together by like several years and onward is when I think more and more community members feel like they can respect it more, that it's not some sort of fleeting grassroots idea. Because I think people are all too familiar with upstart sort of organizations that fizzle out too quickly. So they might be a little reticent and skeptical of fairly new organizations, such as our own or any other that seem to sprout overnight, seemingly. So they might be kind of like, whatever, it's gonna die off. At least that's my opinion, like of the internet community's perspective on things. So therefore, in my opinion, is that you don't give up, don't get too broken down about like, once again, this is kind of like reflective on like the expectations of like releasing a product, a montage. It's the same thing with like running an organization, is that don't give up just because it's not kind of the reception and feedback isn't kind of going and fulfilling your expectations. It just requires a lot of commitment, and when the community sees a organization that has been standing strongly on its feet for, I don't know, like at least 3 to 5 years, then the snowball starts to go down the hill, and you start to see the momentum build, and the community will, you'll see I think you'll see more of a population start to come in more and more. You just keep pumping out that content, keep doing stuff like this, and I think it's inevitable that it'll become more of a success that you may realize at first.
So I actually reached out to FatRat about promoting the contest, and that's exactly what he said to me. He said, like, there's a lot of organizations that come out and they're not around they say they're going to do something, and they're around for maybe 1 year, and then like everybody will get behind them and it'll be super hype, and then they'll just flat out just go away. They just disappear. And then everybody kind of takes a hit there, like credibility wise, like everyone backs this project and then it doesn't end up turning into anything. Is this the next big thing that is just going to be another letdown for the community?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. And you gotta show the community that you are that solid root in the ground that's not going anywhere, and it's only going up from here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the plan. That's definitely the plan. And I'm so grateful I have people like yourself, AYS, and Nikion, he'll flex your index, and amongst other guys that are helpful as well, like my friend Inxy. I'll drop his name. He's been really, really helpful and just very supportive of everything. But yeah, you three, Nikion, you Photon, and AYS have been so helpful. I mean, I don't know if you know Nikion. Have you talked to him? No, his Flex Your Index. I think Flex Your Index.
I never. I don't.
Okay. Well, he's the one that does the editing for the podcast. So he's the manager of the podcast. So everything you've been seeing, like all the higher production value of the podcast and stuff,
Are you talking about like the thumbnail?
the thumbnail and the video, like my videos going on there. And I think the podcasts are also 4K. So he like renders it out in 4K. He does his research on the participants past work, and then he puts it out there and stuff for people to see when they're watching the podcast. So it's
Well, Nikion, if you're Flex Your Index, if you're watching this, I'm telling you right now, bro, this shit's fire, massive, juicy. I really appreciate your work. Thank you for helping out.
And one thing I talked about with AYS was and we're going to discuss the podcast right now that we're doing, and how you feel about it. But we talked about maybe getting more people on an episode where we do kind of like a 3 or 4-way call, and we're with obviously with people that feel comfortable with each other. We don't want anybody butting heads or anything like that.
Yeah.
So like everybody's got to be on the same page, and all got to be comfortable doing a podcast together. But I think it's a really cool idea.
I would love to do that. It's something about finding your tribe and getting nerdy together. That's sort of just it's so therapeutic. Like us as a human creature, we need community to sort of help circulate that passion that's inside of us. Because like if you did it alone all by yourself, you would end up like fizzling out. But if you have people to bounce and circulate and create emotion, like in a indoor in an indoor pool or something, like more like one of those like above ground circular pools. Like if you start swimming in one direction long enough, it causes this whirlpool. But it's just not as compelling if you have like more in the mix. And then it's just that's what you want to do. You want to start this momentum going, and I would love to be a part of that.
What are your thoughts on the way the podcast has been going? I mean, we're on episode, I think your episode is going to be number 12 or 13 now.
I thought it was 11. I actually had this Skaduff one a couple hours ago.
What did you think about that?
I thought it was great. I think it's awesome. Honestly, it's so cool hearing other people's unique stories that lead them to video editing, maintain the video editing, and then gives them the desire to continue video editing. It's like, what drives that person? Because I know what drives me, but it's so cool to compare. Oh, okay. Halo 3 was like your thing because theater came in. Okay, you're in CE and you started to learn how to use a capture card because back then those capture cards and not clips. And it's terrific hearing just all of everyone's unique signature of what makes them a video editor and as a human being, and there's so many things to get.
You get that glimpse into the culture because you get different perspectives.
Culture, yeah, wisdom of like what keeps that person alive too. Like everyone here's what's beautiful is like everyone has their own philosophy in life. It's not just like, oh cool, I get to learn about another video editor and his history. It's also learning someone else's philosophies, whether they consciously deliver it to you or not. Everyone has one. Whether they realize or not, everyone has a way of living, a way of being, a way of feeling and thinking that I think is what makes podcasts so juicy. It's not just, oh, I love Halo and video editing and montaging. It's also kind of learning who a person is, and it's just that's what's so cool about
and their place in the culture and how that kind of ingrains with everybody else's story. Like, we're all connected, like you mentioned Reflections, we mentioned Bo, we mentioned ZRTROOKIO, like we're all connected in this kind of montage, Halo montage universe, which is super neat. And I think the podcast kind of serves as a avenue to kind of give people more perspective on that on that kind of underground niche that we have.
So what you're doing is you're spreading awareness on the tribe that we are, that not many have done before, and it's such a beneficial thing to do. I thought about doing podcasts for a long time, but my interests lie have lain in other avenues. When I was running Halo uploads, my unique contribution to the community was creating montage moments in which I chose like 3 to 5, 10 to 20-second long clips of montages that were submitted for that current contest, and then I would post them on Twitter, YouTube, and Discord. I put most of my I was also doing studio video. I was putting most of my emphasis as a montage community showrunner with doing clips and also getting cute in front of a green screen and acting like I'm delivering news in front of inside of a newsroom station with the table and the elite and grunt interrupting me by coming to the teleporter. That was my unique take. You are putting a lot more emphasis on the podcast and just running, I guess, Discord and hell, and you also do like you kind of like these introspective podcasts where you kind of do solo stuff, and I think that's terrific. I think that's terrific. Whatever you could do to cultivate and maintain a community is so invaluable to especially what we do, because like I said, Halo community is kind of fragmented, so it's incredibly integral what you're doing, and what we're doing is creating a space for the conversations to be had. As Lewis, there's so many of us that like to do it, but many of us are isolationists. I feel like most of us are very, very solo dolo. Most of us actually don't even subscribe to like FMA or even Halo uploads. Like they're just super solo. They don't quite care about being a part of the bigger whole, but that's okay. They still contribute to the culture because we're all interconnected. So long as we're doing what we're doing, it's still conducive to a healthy society.
I mean, I think we haven't had, I mean, there isn't anything like this on the internet. There's nobody doing podcasts for the actual Frag movie community. And that's not just, I just don't want to touch on just the Halo Frag movie community. I would love to have Call of Duty editors on here, Counter-Strike editors on here, and other games. You know, I've reached out to a couple like Valorant guys and Call of Duty guys. It would be nice to get like different perspectives on these things, you know, and kind of really pick these guys' brains on how they operate, because every game has its own kind of community and culture behind it. Although it's kind of the same, right? But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a terrific idea. I don't know any I don't really know too many people beyond the Halo montage editing realm, though I'm sure that's something we could slowly try and branch out to and then contact individuals through the Twitter or the X. Yeah, maybe what you could do is well, Nigion, you gotta always make sure you include all the auxiliary links in the description for each podcast. For the random chance that there is a Call of Duty editor that comes across us and says, "Wow, let's tell my story," something like that. That would be really cool to hear the story of Call of Duty editor, Gears of War editor. There's so many types of editors out there, and we will find that we all share that same but it's just like in a different canvas.
Absolutely. That's so well said. Now that we're on the topic of like kind of like the future of FMA Frag movie art, what exactly do you think about next year's contest? Like What do you have in mind for that? I'm just picking your brain on that. I already had a discussion with AYS about it, but I haven't released that podcast. We pushed Skaduff's podcast ahead of that one because he had a shout out for DreamHack Dallas that I wanted to make sure he got out there. But what do you see FMA in the future, and just give us your thoughts on that.
Um, Immediately what comes to my mind is that I would like to do my best to personally contribute by doing what I talked about is trying to develop the montage moments. I would like to possibly help you with that if I'm not already inundated with projects that handsomely serve myself already. Like I literally have a whole damn list on my wall right here of all my projects that I want to do that aren't even, you know, video editing related. A very ambitious individual that I pretty much put on more food on my plate than I can handle. But I would like to do my best in contributing by making montage moments for the next year contest. If not that, then I would like to help make you make at least some graphics with Photoshop. That was something also that I was doing for Halo uploads was I would spend like 2 to 4 hours making like a cool little Photoshop graphic, promote the organization. I would like to do, I would like to tip that for you as well. Besides that, I guess we could reach out. We need to try and reach out to if you really want to try a multi-game contest. We would really have to do the legwork and reach out to all those individuals.
I mean, I'm ready to put some money into ads and stuff if we have to. And really promote the contest to gamers and people in that sphere. Also, to touch on what you said about graphics, I would absolutely love for you to create graphics for us. We can definitely have that conversation outside of the podcast there. Because I need to start planning for the end of the contest, and we need to have. I love the graphic you made for your contest, with the placement of videos and kind of like
Winners and out there.
Yeah, so like I need something like that for the FMA.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when the current one concludes, yeah, I can definitely cook you that one up. I was also here's something that it's interesting. This was an aborted idea when I was running Halo uploads. So you know how I made the graphics for the winner's announcement when the contest concluded. Well, I was thinking, hey, why don't I make a GIF out of this instead of just a graphic, and then so it'd be like winner's announcements 2024, winner animated reflections, badass video, winner number 2, Hyena video member, and have like basically, why not make a GIF or a video of the winner's announcement instead of just image? And that's just one random idea I had.
That would be really cool, and I think we can definitely discuss that further. As far as like maybe even getting the inputs of the 3 judges and incorporating that into your video, as because I think a GIF is cool, and I mean if you want to do the GIF, that's I'm game for that. A video I think would be even better. And it doesn't have to be like super fancy, but I think just kind of creative and do stuff that I don't think any other organization has ever done for montages, where we kind of go out there and expose ourselves and be like, hey, we are the ones, behind the curtains here, and we're the ones that picked out these videos, and that kind of, sets the tone for the next contest.
Yeah, it's very attractive for a community when they see that effort being done. And I'm gonna add on, I'm gonna tack on right here. I would go against using AI to generate promotional content as well.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's awesome because I don't want any AI being used. I think we got some flack for using partially generated AI poster, which I was like, man, like it looks good, like I don't know, man, so I learned from that. and I definitely don't want to use AI and piss off the artist.
Yeah. It's a like it's a very I mean society is such a mixed bag. You're gonna have the artists. You're gonna have people who love math and don't give a flying fuck about AI as a form of art. But I think as self-respecting artists, it would be it would behoove us to not, in my opinion, use something that would be a like a crutch that is AI. So it's kind of like it's a downgrade. That's I'm not gonna get into it, but it's just simply not a spiritual decision to make.
Yeah, it's soulless, is what you're getting at. It's soulless.
Yeah, it's a cop out, easy decision to make art, and that should be reserved only for those who truly can't compose it.
Very well said. Um, the next thing I wanted to say is that so I thought about the next contest, and I'm thinking minimum prize pool of hopefully $2,000. And I'm willing to match the first 1,000 donations. So I wanted to put that out there. So I was able to secure a silent sponsor. So we've got a buddy of mine is giving some funds over to the contest. So that's kind of where a lot of the money is coming from as well. I'm pulling from my own pocket too, but he's helping out as well.
That's awesome, dude. So tell me about what's the recent developments on you trying to get this whole museum thing going?
So the museum thing, okay, so and it's basically it's not gonna happen because it doesn't make any sense. And I'm gonna sound stupid like pointing this out, but like, dude, if you have a gallery, right, a physical gallery with more than one video in a certain space, which has audio, right? It's a visual audio video that we make music video, Halo music videos, right? Um, how would you play that for people in a physical space if you want to have more than one? It would just be chaos. So it just doesn't make sense. I'm opting for a VR gallery. So I'm looking into virtual reality goggles and looking into building something in the virtual space. And I think that's a lot more economical and a lot more functional, a lot more practical. And I think it works really, really well with what we do.
And you're saying that venture failed at a video game museum?
No, no, no. What we have there is the video game museum here in Chicago, which I'd reached out to the owner, but he hasn't gotten back to me. I'm not gonna be DMing him over and over again. And I sent my message if he wants to get back to me and he wants to host our videos. His name is Jonathan Kinkley. So Jonathan, if you happen to stumble upon this video, would love to work and collab with you. But if he doesn't respond to the text message, I'm not gonna sit there and bother him, and spam his Jonathan respond. Yeah.
Jonathan, respond to this message. We need do it.
Regardless, it's okay because I mean that VR gallery I think is really, really, really neat idea, and I think I definitely want to explore it.
That's what I was struggling to say when I was enumerating the unique things you're doing with your organization is you're trying to like legitimize the whole video editing as an art form and have it displayed in a public space, which is something utterly unheard of. But all like game changing like inventions were always downplayed and laughed at and scoffed at initially, and then it became like an absolute fixture in society. Like I don't know, like Amazon and stuff.
What I've been thinking of, if we wanted to do a physical space, and this is very long-term goal down the line, would be to actually open up like an indie miniature cinema where you could play each video as a short film and charge a fee to people. That makes more sense, I think.
At a video game museum?
No, not at a video game museum. You would have to open up, or you could rent out a indie small miniature theater and play these videos. Kind of like, I don't know if you're familiar with MixCP. He's a Counter-Strike editor. He does the Alive series. It has a bunch of views on that. Very successful video, and he basically rented out a small cinema, and he had people pay for watching the video. So that makes more sense. Whereas like a gallery, like the logistics and the little nuances of having videos all over a physical space just doesn't really make sense.
I just got an idea. I just got an idea that occurred to me that I think would be the most viable location you could implement your idea.
Sure.
I don't know why I didn't think about this before. We discussed this from months. Dude, you gotta do it at like a Halo tournament thing.
Like go to an actual event. That's what Skaduff was saying. He's like, you got to network, bro. You got to start going to these events and networking. And
Exactly. Thank you, Skaduff. That's entirely correct. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
yeah, it's just difficult. Like it's traveling and everything, and it's a big commitment. I would love to do it. Don't get me wrong. And if we have events near my area, I'd be a fool not to go. But when they're going out and you supply and in Dallas and stuff like that, like, and I have to pull the money in out of the contest and all this stuff, like I have to pick and choose which one I'm gonna do, and I like what we're doing with the contest. If somebody wants to like help me out with funds and give me some money to be able to travel to these events, like I would love to do that and represent the Halo Montage community, but that's something I personally don't have the kind of like the funds to do. My funds, my extra disposable income is going to these other ideas.
That would be nice. I think they got it. It's a tough. I'm not very business oriented. I'm entirely a creative person, but I see all issues in life as creative opportunities that require creative solutions. For you, like I think you just need, like, we require a buzz. There needs to be like a hype behind it, and then people would buy it. Like if you pose it at a place. So I'm actually crazy, right? This weekend, I get to see Dutch Kaiser at a game store here in Colorado. And so what I'm trying to tell you is we need to take it upon ourselves, like go to game stores, video gaming events, and Halo events, LAN events, and start talking to people and just talk. Just talk, because you might strike up a conversation with someone who's like really passionate about montages, but they didn't have the connection or something. Well, like they might have a lot of money, but they didn't have the vision like you do, and all you gotta do is put those two together, and this guy can suddenly afford you of, like what you said, that Counter-Strike guy of hosting like a venue of his video at a little cinema place, but we could do it for like the best montages of the past 3 years or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that would be an inception of creating a buzz, a hype. What if people got like really into that, got really like suddenly hooked on wanting to see more Halo montage? So I guess any montages at this point, and that would be a good beginning, because you want to start a hype, a buzz, a draw where it would cause interest, and therefore more of a tangible possibility to have this all around the nation where people would host. I don't know.
Photon, hear me out here. What if we got so good at video editing, like Kaiser's videos, for example? You've seen Kaiser's videos, right? Or Nikki HD's videos. No? I will link you. But the videos, they're so well done, and they're so premium that people have no choice but to they have no choice but to like be like, all right, I gotta give this a like. I mean, like I gotta leave a comment. I can't help but do it. and if when I show you these videos, you're gonna be like, if we could do this for Halo, I think you'll see that maybe we might not have to do all that work. We might be able to network through the internet and maybe meet up. I do think it's good to meet up in physical locations, like physically. But it would be more, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like specific, I guess. It wouldn't be you wouldn't have to do so much bulk of the work through meeting up in person. You could do it all through making sick edits like Kaiser's basically. And I've talked to Reflections about this. Like he's working on like he wants to be as good as Kaiser. I mean, and I would love to get as good as Kaiser. I have a difficult time learning 3D, and hopefully Reflections can do it. But I'm gonna try my butt off to get as good as I can at this art form and really get more eyes on our products. So I'm gonna invest in this education and all that stuff to make the sickest edits I can possibly make. And I will show you Kaiser's edits, and you will understand why that if we had that for Halo, it would be huge.
Yes, you're utterly correct. We need to get with the times and make Halo montages so damn good that people who don't even play video games will love it.
Absolutely. So I just
People
want
need a wider reach and an interest, and therefore, once again, an increase in creating a buzz.
absolutely, yes. And then you'll actually be like this team will be like will be like almost like celebrity status through the internet. It would be really cool. We just got to we'd get to that level. One of us would get to that level. That's involved within the FMAC.
Yeah.
What's it called? I want to. Yeah.
Don't worry about that though. Don't worry about where something will take you. Worry about how much you will enjoy it.
Absolutely, and I would enjoy very much to be able to make videos on that level. It's just that I'm it's hard to learn that 3D, dude. It makes me feel like crap.
So I'm intimidated. I'm like this about it. I'll be like 3D editing. I'm good. I don't need that. It's so intimidating, but it's so like upper echelon, high caliber, like mouth watering footage. Like when you watch that montage after all the other montages that are like in circulation, something happens inside you where you're like, oh my gosh. It's without a doubt, I must watch this entire thing because it's so damn good. And that's what most of us should try and do, like as human beings, is like improve ourselves. And I've been working on myself personally a lot, and I would love to get to that level too, where I could learn 3D modeling.
It's not like it's man, I'm losing my train of thought here, but basically it's a difficult software to learn for anyone that hasn't dabbled in a 3D software. I mean, it's very confusing. And me and Photon use fucking After Effects, and I think most people open up After Effects, they're like, oh my God, like now now imagine that like times like 4 or 5, or 10, like
Dude, dude, bro, I'm so glad we're talking because we're probably like end up hanging out, being like video editing buddies, because I think our passion is so deep for this. To invest our lives into improving ourselves is going to take a long time, so that we'll probably be doing this, if God granted, we'll be doing this for the rest of our lives because it's something we love so much, and it might take us to a whole new level of like career. But I think if oh no, what I want to say is like you really like make me want it so badly, want to find someone to teach me in person, step by baby step, by elementary freaking step. I would love to take like 3 years to slowly learn 3D editing. I do not have the discipline to do it on my own. I probably maybe could, but it's so damn intimidating, those programs, that I don't even touch it with a 10-foot pole, right? I would rather be taught by someone. I want to find someone in my life, once I make enough money maybe, to set enough time on the side to go to a film school that will teach them just that. Not film school, learn how to put up some lights and fucking green screen bullshit. No, I want just the 3D blender. People are probably like, dude, that's available. We'll do it. Well, I don't have the money for it.
Right. It's not just that. It's these courses, they're not very good. Like, I'll be honest with you. The reason and we talked about Video Copilot at the beginning. You remember fucking Andrew Kramer, like when you first pulled him up? Like
Dude, I get lost in the sauce with those videos.
Yeah,
I'm like going back like 10 steps. I'm like tearing my hair out.
With Video Copilot, I could sit there and watch those videos and really digest and really take it in and learn from them. There's nothing like that for 3D right now, in my opinion. So if anyone's watching that is a 3D generalist or a 3D animator or 3D specialist, you have a huge market right there, potential of huge customer base, because it doesn't seem like most people that put out these 3D like tutorials and stuff like that, like
they're there on YouTube, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. It just doesn't feel like something it doesn't feel like something I can actually digest, the way they deliver it, the way it's taught. I need to be taught a certain way.
I was gonna say, is it because you would rather be in person too, so that you can say, stop, I want to ask this question?
I would love to have somebody that I could pick their brain in person.
That organic process of learning, I think, is what I've been like unconsciously wanting to explain as to why I would rather have that sort of education than self-taught tutorials, because that shit is so damn nitty-gritty in the weeds that's why I don't think I have the discipline to do it on my own, because I've already experienced that with Andrew Kramer on Video Copilot. That shit gets so complicated, and I think I'm a decently intelligent person, but even that stuff surpasses my patience for intelligence, as it gets so damn detailed and crazy. It's like, well, dude, chill out, maybe. It'll be like,
it's like
chill out. Chill out. I just slowly learn. I just can't.
Photon.
I think I have ADD or something. I can't.
Phil, it's like trying to self-teach yourself calculus. I mean, that's what it is. It's self-teaching yourself calculus. Could you do it? Could you do it if you applied yourself? Yes. Is it fucking hard? Absolutely, dude. I mean, I don't know very many people who self-taught themselves calculus. And the guys that I know who are 3D specialists right now, they're like genius level dudes. I mean, they're super, super bright. Like, they can do things that are just incredible. Like, you know, I got a friend, his name is Max, 3D generalist. Shout outs to Max, helping me out with so many things. Well, he's amazing, like the stuff that he does, and the level of detail and patience you need to work in that software proficiently is like, it needs to be something that you really sit down and really take your time doing. If somebody can show you, like, even better.
Dude, it's military grade concentration.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, it's surgical. It's astronomical devices that are so damn. I don't think I even have the hardware for that too.
It's physical manual labor with your eyes. That's what it's saying. Yeah. Dude, it's fucking hard, man. It's hard for me, at least. And I'm glad I'm not the only one that can admit that.
It's good that you can identify that. I'm so grateful to have this conversation with you. It helps me realize how badly I want to achieve that higher caliber of editing, because it's kind of deplorable, you could say, that someone like me, who has such a passion for editing, is so lazy to get to the next level where I can make a career. Girlfriend was like, why don't you turn it into a career? I'm like,
maybe we could have like study parties or something, man. Maybe that would motivate us, like study parties or something like that for 3D, where we can all kind of get together, me, you, Reflections, anyone else is that's trying to learn and get better at 3D craft, get together and kind of, mess with the software, go through a tutorial at the same time, something like that to make it kind of fun. So it's a little bit maybe easier to digest,
But we need that is good. That would be a bad idea. But I would argue that we need a professor to kind of guide us.
It'd be so nice, man. It'd be so nice.
But we could do that as a team, kind of like navigate it. But I feel like then we would end up getting selfish, and just get tunnel vision on our own little discoveries of the nuances of things. So yeah, man. I gotta get in on the Blender game.
Don't sweat it, man. We have it in us to be able to do it. It's something that we're deeply passionate about, and I think something that we'll do eventually. So
yeah,
no, don't sweat it, man. On a different note, I wanted to. We're almost done with our episode. I wanted to discuss who your favorite creators are. Just name some of your favorite montage creators, some favorite editors. The floor is yours.
Oh man. Well, immediately comes to my mind the one and only Spore Frog. If you're not in the C community, you're probably saying, what the fuck right now? So, Spore Frog does really unique edits, where he'll for example, there's I forgot the name of that. Oh, it's Gibson and Danny Glover with Lethal Weapon. There's a montage where he even splitters mostly from 90s movies, and I remember one of his videos. I think it's Lethal Weapon, where the family's people who know this video already know what I'm talking about. It's pretty hilarious. The family, Danny Glover's family, they're all rushing to get into the living room to watch the TV, and then they're like, "Oh my god!" And the shot is of the TV, and of course it's a Halo montage about to show up. So he utilizes movie clips to tell the story of a montage, which inspired me to create Vapor Reality as the way it is, and yeah, I guess Vapor Reality was motivated by his work and other So you asked me last time you had me my favorite works. I'll cite the begin. It was
well, I mean like this, in this perspective, your Mount Rushmore of content creators for the montage space, Halo montage space, your Mount Rushmore, top 4. Most influential, I'm putting you on the spot. I know, I'm sorry, man. AYS did this to me.
All I can think of is War Frog, because that's okay, look, I'm scrolling through my Twitter friends. I'm gonna okay. Montage. It has to be Montage, right?
Yes, montages. Yes, Frag movies.
Okay, Art Senses, War Frog. I feel like such a freaking buffet right now.
You're good, dude. Don't worry about it. It's all opinional. So, you want to hear mine? What I told AYS? Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're.
I had no specific order, right? It's just 4 influential Mount Rushmore figures for Halo montages. I had Phurion, I had Hyena, and I had Noob Slayer, and I'm trying to think of who else I had besides that. I don't think I could settle on a 4th. I think I went with Blackhawk or something like that as a 4th, just because he keeps such a memory alive of the scene.
Yeah, he's easily one of the top 5 best editors in the game right now, for sure, without dispute. I would probably put him there on my list as well, and I'm really just like watching this stuff. Yeah, I'll put him on there. I'll put him on my Mount Rushmore with Torprog, Artsys, and
It's a hard question, isn't it? I mean, there's so many talented dudes like Reflections, Lemon.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you.
Yourself.
I'm putting Reflections on there. I can't put myself. That's lame.
Well, no, you can't put yourself out there. That's yeah. But I named you. I'm saying like you're a very talented dude.
Flatter me, baby. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're awesome too.
I love what you do, man. I love what you do, bro. And I appreciate all the help so much help that you've been. Like, you're a great freaking person, dude. Like, an awesome friend and a great partner, man, as a, like, business partner and stuff. So,
Means a lot. There's a reason why I'm doing that for you, because I really believe in your movement. And I found, and I think your work is heavily underappreciated. I think you should keep making them. Don't give up. But I found that, like, I think I operate very well as a top leader in an organization. I found that I like to be right below the leader. And be a supportive role. I found I'm more comfortable in that way, which is possibly one of the main proponents that got me out of doing the Halo uploads. I was like, this was a lot more food on my plate than I wanted to admit that I could handle. At first, I was just so enamored with the prospect of being like, wow, I think I'm like the world's only montage community, contest community. Curating that is a really good feeling, but I think I got overwhelmed with that sense of responsibility, ambition, and I had personal issues, health issues, that it was just, it deterred me and ultimately discouraged me for thinking that that's something that is a good fit for me. So I'm very happy to be here to support you and your organization and that's the best way I can, and I feel happy with that role.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you and all the kind words you said. Dude, like it is, and I totally feel you on that. It's a lot of pressure and it's a lot of work and it's a lot of little nuances and logistics that you have to deal with. Fortunately, I have the time and to do this and pursue this. But yeah, and this is something I'm really passionate about. To be completely honest with you, I have nothing else that I'm truly passionate about, that I care about, like this community and making this art form something that is bigger than what it is. Because this community gave me the best moments of my life. Back in high school was a hard time in my life, and they made me feel so special and so good that I want to relive that. So I'm coming from a place of nostalgia, but also I'm coming with like this experience that I've had of like pursuing so many business ideas. Like, I've always pursued entrepreneurial pursuits in my endeavors. I just never had the passion to really like convince people that what I was trying to do was real, because I never had that passion for, like, I was doing fitness before, and I love fitness. I love working out, and I love being a trainer. I love teaching people about fitness, but that wasn't me. I fell into that because I couldn't get into a certain position that I wanted to get, and they gave me a position as a trainer, and it paid well, and I stuck with it for years because I didn't know what else to do, So that's basically a little bit rundown about me.
Cool, man. I'm doing that now myself, but not as a trainer. I'm getting into fitness, and I'm really excited about that. Finally, intentionally embarking on that journey that I've so horribly neglected. It's a good feeling. So you've done fitness for like
I know what I'm about to say.
You're asking me how long I've done fitness for. I've done fitness since I was 19, and I'm 34 right now. And I gave up on it like literally probably last year when I started pursuing this, because I found out this is my true calling. This is something I really care about. And it's probably the outside of family, right? Like family and friends and relationships and stuff. As a actual like job and career and all that stuff, I don't see myself doing anything else but like editing montages, making content for people online, really being a representative of this community. I absolutely love this fucking community, and I'm not going to back down until I get what I want.
Right, that's the ultimate goal for any human being, is to convert your hobby into a career, because the day that you do something you love is about a day you don't work at all. So you've realized that, and you're trying to make it a reality, and I commend that, and I'm here to support that, because I too deeply would like to also convert that fantasy into a reality myself.
I'm glad we're working together. I'm glad I got you in my corner. I'm glad I got AYS. I'm glad I got Nikki on, Inxy, all the support of you guys. You guys are fucking amazing. And I love you guys so much, and I'm so grateful to have you guys. Let's talk about and wrap things up. Future goals. What are some goals that you have in the future? I just spoke about mine, but I want to hear yours besides anything FMA related.
Sounds like in New Year's resolution time. So I've said that I want to. I guess I'll actually just kind of elaborate on it. I'm very, very happy to publicly announce that I finally begun rigorous workout routine where I work out 6 days out of the week. My job actually has a motherfucking gym, which is so fortuitous for me. So I kind of despise the idea of going to other public gyms. I don't know. I get kind of territorial because equipment is going to be used by other people, and I get set in my routine of oh no, fucking Jeff got my whatever today, and I gotta work around it, and people are like, dude, you're such a pansy, just do whatever you can. But I like to have my way with the routine, so I'm glad that I can implement a rigorous exercise routine, which is such a healthy thing to do. I neglected how beneficial that was. I thought it was just to get muscles, but it actually extends to so many things for men's health, for example. It's emotional because it gives you that self-esteem, etc. and so forth. So I won't fray the hairs even deeper on that. But yeah, I've been excited more, so I'm really happy about finding that. And then I have been committing to a whole lot of other health-oriented things that I would rather not outline on the podcast. But rest assured that I've been unpeeling some very needed layers in my life that just so happy that I'm doing. It's really, really keeping me going. I think. And then, okay, so developing myself physically, I guess what I'm explaining. And then you could say I'm developing things that could benefit me financially if I keep teaching myself a higher level of video editing to turn that into a career. That would be kind of cool. And then I'm meeting some people here in the local area for the first time that are Halo fans. So there's this guy in our Discord, and turns out he lives in Denver with me, and he loves CE, and he regularly plays in my server, and he would like to convert investment into a LAN event, and I have a couple of PBs that I'm donating them. So ultimately, it'd be nice if I could help this guy develop a SPE LAN community in my local area. So I'll let develop that. So I get those three things mainly. Those are the highlights in Photon's life that I'm trying to improve on.
That's awesome, man. And besides that, we can just shoot the shit after this. What is how have you been, man? How have you been? How's everything? I'm excited for your next project, bro.
Oh, I mean, you asked specifically like how are things going with new projects, or how's my mental health going?
No, not your mental health. Your next projects. Like, unless you want to talk about mental health, sure.
I kind of touched on it. I've been working on it. Well, I guess I working on my physical health because although I rate the mental health, but I just suppose I should elaborate more then though in my mental health that I have been working on my chronic insomnia. It's gotten significantly better, which I do believe was the main thorn in my side that made me want to abort the whole Halo uploads. It's just I didn't have the energy levels to really execute all my ideas and the responsibility. I was just like, no, I can't commit myself to a rigorous schedule. I just can't do it. So, my mental health has been getting better. Sleep. So I'm happy about that. And I think the exercise will help even more. But to get on to projects, though, it's just probably my favorite thing to talk about in life. Nothing turns me on more than ideating about projects. So besides the trailer for the Digsite, then I will be finishing once I finish this podcast with you, and it will be released. I'll share it in the server. I'm working on, I got this old fucking,
It's blurred.
it might auto focus. It sure as fuck didn't.
No, it's not. But what is that?
So I got a whole list of like my projects.
Now it's working. Yeah.
You couldn't read it anyways. Scratch. But it's here, and so I have a whole handsome list. See, I got. So I plan on turning the Kaiser core into a series of videos. That's the thing I'll quickly touch on is that, some people are disturbed with Kaiser core because they're like, Ogre1 commented. He told Kaiser his one comment about my montage. He said, "A damnation montage," and I had a couple other people be like, montage on one map. Like people are like so accused that this is a thing that you can make a montage strictly composed of clips from one singular map, but they don't know the bigger picture. And you're like, well, what's the big picture? The big picture is that I downloaded well over 100 clips of Kaiser's on his Twitch channel, and I ended up realizing that I had a shit ton of clips from just one map, and that's when the idea occurred to me. I was like, well, maybe I'll just make a series of Kaiser montages that are just one map each. So ultimately, I want to execute a Kaiser core montage series in which each map will have its own montage. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully, is make the Kaiser core 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I have montages that I'm backed up on. I've got a couple of people who want their own Halo1 montage. I've got an idea to make a YouTube channel video for our server where I would have myself in front of the green screen and put myself inside of the Blood Gulch base and use the wall inside of the base as a sort of base of operations. I'd be like, well, right here we do the tips and tricks, and down here we got montages, and down here we have funtages, and just have that as a welcome channel video idea. And then I do promotional videos for my community. Where right now we're doing something really cool where we have a very reputable cartographer, a map maker in the CE community. Shout out Bo, if you're watching this. He's one of the best in the game, and he's one of our mods, and he's posting right now a 2v2 map contest, map creation contest kind of competition where we have, I think, 10 map creators in the community that are making original CE maps, which is so damn fucking cool for an otherwise dying community. I think it's a fantastic thing that we're doing, and I'm creating the graphics for those updates for like the latest information on who's still in the game. Pretty much like the winners announcement graphics I did for Halo Uploads, but now I'm doing it for this map contest that, just like you, is well over $1,000 cash prize pool. I think it's actually at $1,500 now for the prize pool.
Nice.
So I'm constantly creating content for a very passionate Halo 1 community that is very dedicated to creating and playing modded maps for CE, as well as making my own montages that I will probably be doing for the rest of my life. How about you?
So, I wanted to respond. What's it called? I'm glad you asked. What's called? I'm working on a montage for Lucid, the pro player. I decided to download some clips off of YouTube from him, motivated by you, and I decided to make a montage for him.
Do it, bros.
And so I'm working on that. I just picked up a project by Inxy and Phurion. So it's a Dualtage Halo 4. All the clips are capped. So all the clips are capped and all the angles are capped. I mean, I just got to re-render everything because it's in a weird format, which is perfectly cool because the song we have picked out is really slow. I have a vision for it. It should be a really nice video. And then besides that, there's the watch party that I want to host every Sunday, not Saturdays. Yeah, the watch party. Yeah, so we'll end on that, right? The watch party is a video hosting party, basically, like online, right? Where we get together on Discord, on the FMA Discord, and we watch some of the best montages and discuss them in a group, and really try to either dissect them or just really try to understand the art form better and just appreciate them for what they truly are.
You should not call it watch party. You should just call it like montage appreciation class.
I mean, it'd be like so formal, like, but yeah, that's definitely a possibility. We definitely change the name. I just wanted something exciting for it, like watch party sounds like serious. Okay.
Good. No, that's good. That's good. But that's kind of what you're cultivating is like it's like almost like not a college. It's more casual than that, but it's because if you do that, it's gonna launch into so many different types of discourses that it's gonna be like more than just a watch part. It'll be montage appreciation class where we're like kind of sharing each other's knowledge and love and secrets and techniques. That's what is so awesome. What we can do is create a community of passionate video editors, so we could bounce back and forth on knowledge, wisdom, and experience to help us all grow together, so that we can ultimately become something bigger than what we were before. Like any self-respecting society and humanity is it that's what we do, is we get together as a tribe of people because we have a shared interest, and then we grow that interest together, and then that interest can become so big that other interests in the world that have nothing to do with ours will be like, oh, that shit's cool, and then they get a positive it.
Absolutely agreed. What's it called? I just sometimes like, and we'll end on this, like, and I hate to end on something like kind of a little bit sour, but like I get frustrated, you know, where it's like I wish more people would get behind this because it's such a cool thing. And honestly, I don't know anybody else doing it. If there's somebody else doing it, I would love to join their thing, you know? Like I don't want to be the one fucking coming up with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like dude, but nobody's doing it. And then when somebody does it, it almost seems like some of the community is kind of frustrated or resentful at the fact that it's happening or something. I don't know, man. You know, I'd love to see more involvement from other creators that have a lot more influence right now than I do, because I think it would be really, really cool to pick their brain on how they became so successful in our niche. So with that said, I'll let you finish up with anything you want to say, any last thoughts, and then we'll stop the recording.
I'll just end it and say, famous saying that goes, if you build it, they will come. I could easily spend the rest of the day explaining that, but I will leave it at that. Build it and they will come.
Absolutely.
So you built it, now be patient as they come. Snowball's here. A handful of others are here. And you're only you're less than a year old.
Yeah. I appreciate every
You have to give it time. You have to give it time, man. That seed does not become an oak in 1 year.
Absolutely, I agree, man. I agree, and that I appreciate you telling me that, man. Because it does, yeah. We'll end it there. I really appreciate you coming on, bro. And we'll definitely discuss the Halo montage moments. Because I want to make you a manager of the YouTube channel, so you could do that yourself. Nicky has got his hands full too. It's just he's got it with the podcast and all that stuff. So we'll discuss that afterwards. I really appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we can do this again. We can do this again in 6 months or 8 months from now for the next competition.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Whenever. Maybe we can do a three-way with someone else too. Snowball, whatever. I'm down for whatever, man. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. You message me, I message back. We go back and forth. You know.
I know how it is, bro. I know how it is. I know how it be, bro. All right. See you later. Have a good one.
Later, man.
Bye.
Y'all have a good one.